Please be advised that this video is for the sole purpose of entertainment. Any views are purely my own, are subjective and may not necessarily be true. I do, however, do extensive research for all of my videos. All photos have been found on the public domain. I am using them under the fair use and fair dealing guidelines. I urge everybody to do their own research. Well, hello, it's Murky Meg here. It's Sunday the 16th of February and I'm a little bit concerned. Now, I don't know whether you know this. I know this is predominantly a Meghan Markle channel, but the Duchess of Cornwall, which is Camilla, was recently talking at an event about her experience with domestic abuse. And this is what she said. I recently had somebody I know well whose daughter was married and living in a foreign country, Camilla shared. I said to her one day, "You're not looking quite right. What's wrong?" She said, "I have this terrible problem with my daughter. I can't believe it, as I've never experienced anything like this before. She's got this strange husband who is exercising coercive control, which is undermining her confidence, getting rid of her friends, alienating her family. I just don't know what to do about it." How bizarre is that? We have spoken on this very issue so much about coercive control and narcissistic abuse. For Camilla to publicly say that, not realise the connotations, because they must be aware of what people are saying, because I believe that they're probably saying it themselves. They cannot not see this. They cannot not look at the situation and not see coercive control or abuse of some sort or liken it to that. So why would she say this? We know that she's a sly old fox. She's amazing as Camilla. You know, when the whole hoo-ha with Charles and Di and Camilla and the third wheel came out, I really didn't like Camilla. But you know what? She's redeemed herself in my eyes. She kept her head down. She got her duty solid as a rock. And she is amazing, quite frankly. She is the epitome of what a queen consort needs to be. She supports Charles. She doesn't overshadow him. She is there next to him in the role of the support and the guidance, and for him to be the one that everybody champions. But for her to say this in such a public event, you've got to ring alarm bells, haven't you? You know, it's always funny that when people say, "Oh, I need a bit of advice. My friend," you always go, "Really? Is it your friend or is it you?" Because a lot of people use that excuse, "my friend," when actually it's them, because they are scared of asking for help because they don't know what to do and they don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want to have the scrutiny of what's going on. It's really strange and too close to the bone, quite frankly. What are your thoughts? So, Harry and Meghan have been spotted together. Or so we think. People are saying it's not Harry. I think it is. I don't think we're being duped into a body double. I know it happens, but I really don't think that this is the case now. Apparently they flew commercial. They were still surrounded by bodyguards and royal protection officers. Meghan was carrying a Prada duffel bag, merchy all the way, making sure that the symbol of the Prada logo was facing forward to get the pap shot. Come on. Again, back-grid media were the ones that got the shots. I have mentioned this so many times. Same with the pictures walking the dogs and when she was holding Archie in that weird papoose thing. Same with the aeroplane photos of going to Elton John, you know, them going on the private jet. It was back-grid media. This company gets tip-offs from celebrities of where they were going to be. How did they gain access to the tarmac? Isn't that a security risk within itself? How were they not aware that they weren't there? I believe that this was a pap shot. I believe that they were tipped off and that they needed to prove that they were together. They, I believe, or their team, will be all over Twitter reading our comments. They know what we're talking about because instantly we start talking about something and then boof, we get proof. You know, a lot of us are saying, perhaps they're not still together. Perhaps the split's already happened. Perhaps we are being fooled. And then boof, photo of them getting off a plane. Where's Archie? All of this was done to protect the privacy of their family, to make sure that he had a normal upbringing. A normal upbringing is to be with your parents or parent. Now, most of us, our parents went away for a weekend, fine, but they've been away for a week without Archie. And it's not the first time that this has happened either. I think Archie will know more about the nanny than any of those two. And I expected it of Meghan, I really did. I don't want to knock her in that way. I think that every mum struggles at some point. I did. I had a terrible time with my first daughter. I really didn't connect for the first couple of weeks, but that's because I had such a terrible birth. But the love does come. For some people it doesn't, though. I understand that. But Harry, what's going on, sunshine? Why aren't you present? Why leave him for a whole week? He's a child, he's a baby. They grow so quickly. Why couldn't he go with you? There's been a little bit of controversy on Twitter as well about the Canadian Prime Minister and whether or not he actually confirmed that Canada are paying for their security. What he actually said was that there are provisions in place at the moment, as they have always been from the moment that they arrived. And when he was pressed to say, will you let Canadians know as and when the decision is made as whether or not they will be paying for their security, it was a very sketchy kind of, he was nodding his head but not really saying very much. His body language was very stoic. He looked very uncomfortable. He didn't really confirm a lot. I think Canadians probably will be paying a proportion because they are in your country, and Mounties or whichever security that you need to be providing for will have to play a part in their security. Who foots that bill? I don't know. And I think it's a very shady little operation at the moment. Nobody knows who is paying for their security. Apart from one, we know who isn't paying for their security, and that's Harry and Meghan. What worries me is that there's little rumours in the media going around that Prince Harry's new life in Canada is proving a worry for senior royals as they face greater intrusion than ever before. Now, again, I've said this on this channel, when you are in the bubble of the royal family, you are protected, you are in the fold, and there's a lot more things that they control rather than the media. You cannot be papped because we have quite strict laws in the UK, and their security while in the UK was never really compromised. We never saw them papped out on a walk in the UK or shopping or in Frogmore Cottage or anywhere. There was nothing. Apart from that one time when they were at the apothecary. That was the only instance I ever saw of them being papped, because there is a very balanced understanding between press and the royal family about what they can and cannot use. They mustn't invade on their privacy. Not one single photo was released where they looked uncomfortable or that they were chased around. Nothing. Their privacy was not invaded. Since they've been in Canada, they're all over the place. We've had Harry exiting the plane. We've had these recent ones that were yesterday's coming out in the news, getting off the plane. We've had Meghan and her walk with the baby. Canadian laws are different than being protected in the UK. And there lies the problem with the royal family. It's said that they are drawing up contingency plans just in case the media intrusion proves a serious concern for the vulnerable couple. The family have headed abroad after a historic divorce deal was agreed with the Queen in January, allowing the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to retire as working royals and pursue their own ventures. Now palace sources are saying that they're under severe strain, and they believe that the royal family will be able to better protect them back in the UK, because there is this gentleman's agreement between the press, the paparazzi and the palace. These rules don't apply in Canada, unfortunately. The paps can come from all over the world and lie in them and wait for them and get that shot, that big money shot. And the source said that the family are already making plans in case these Sussexes suddenly turn around and say, can we come back please? We don't feel safe. How would Britain feel about that? I would never want their security to be compromised, ever. I don't want anybody's security to be compromised. I think that they need a level of protection. Who pays for that? That's up for grabs. And you know how I feel on that. If they have the money, they're multimillionaires, they should pay for it themselves. However, their security should never be compromised. If they do not feel safe, then where do they go? Where can they possibly go? Do they come back to the UK? And if they come back to the UK, what will be the public's reaction to them? You know, Meghan has made sure it's been well noted on exactly how she felt while being a member of the working royal family. Via her friends, they have spoken to the media and said that she felt that life in the royal family was soul crushing, and that is quite damaging. You cannot slag off the family that you've just left and then expect to be welcomed with open arms. It's like, you know, if you've got a best friend and you're not particularly fond of their partner and they come over and go, oh my god, I have split up with him, and then you start like, and you load into them about all the things that you hate. Guarantee the next day they're going to be back with them, and you're going to look like a fool because you've just unloaded all your hatred of that partner on to your friend. They know how you feel and they're never really going to trust you again, are they? It's exactly the same situation. She's made her feelings very, very clear of how life in the royal family made her feel unsupported and soul crushing. Where can they go after that? Will they ever be welcomed back if they say we don't feel safe? Do you think the British public could forgive them? Personally, I feel that this article in the Express saying that the royal family could be drawing up plans to get them back is actually testing the water. It's a puff piece, and I think it was put out by Meghan's team to see how the public react. A lot of these articles are released for that very reason. They are released to see how the public reacts. So I think that this, again, because it's putting her and them in a very vulnerable light, and they're saying that they're feeling the scrutiny, I think, again, yeah, it's a puff piece, but it'd be interesting to see what the future holds for them and where they go, because they can't stay in Canada forever, can they? They can't live in this $14 million mansion that somebody else owns. They have to put roots down somewhere. Where will that be, I wonder? Curveball, could this vulnerability be being put out by their team to try and make sure that Charles buys them a house? If they don't feel safe and they feel vulnerable, they can play the card, oh, we need a home, we can't afford it. Will Charles pony up the money? What are your thoughts on the really strange comment from Camilla? What did you think about the pap shots from exiting the plane? Were they set up? Did she call the paps? Do you think that Canadians are in fact going to be paying the majority of their security cost? And we all know, I don't really need to ask it, should they? And what do you feel about the vulnerability and the royal family making plans for them to come home if they need to? As always, let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.